Hello YouTubers and welcome to another episode of the vlogs. I had to, as you saw clearing ice off my car. It is April 11th, 12th, 10th, 11th, and it is still icy in the mornings, but hopefully that means the day will be fresher, the temperature will climb up. But as you can tell from the title, today we're a pretty big piece. We're flat out again in the pair, but this time for a little bit longer. This is probably the biggest part, the biggest prep piece for the trials coming up next week. This will hopefully show us what we can do and then where we can step on for the actual races next week. But first things first, we have to get to Dorney Lake. Being a little bit quiet because the housemates are still in, sleeping. But let's get Dorney Lake nice and safe. Oh yeah. And we've made it to Dorney Lake. We've gained a couple of more degrees, as you saw. -1 with ice on the windows. Absolutely not fantastic, but like I said, hopefully that means a little bit of a fresher morning. Hopefully the sun will come out, stay out, and get nice and warm like it was yesterday. But feeling a little bit nervous for today's piece, not because of the piece itself, it's a training piece, but more because of what I know it will feel like if it's done correctly. Probably not going to be able to breathe, probably going to sting the legs quite a significant amount. The arms, the shoulders, the back, everything is going to be not feeling great. But it's all part of this process and you've got to enjoy the process. So first things first, we've got to get changed, got to get ready to go on the water in the Learn to Row pair. So let's get to it. Oh yeah! And we've made it off the dock for another great session in the Learn to Row pair, but this session is all about warming up, getting the body ready for what's about to happen this morning or later this morning. So let's get on the water, let's get paddling. Oh yeah! And we've made it off the water for our pre-paddle. So the point of a pre-paddle, Robson, what do you think the point of a pre-paddle is?
Weight the legs up.
Weight the legs up, because usually if you have a race at 10, 11 o'clock, and you don't want to be that for your first thing, the first high intensity of the day. Oh my goodness. So now we have a little bit of fuel, but since we only spent a little bit of energy, we don't want to have a massive fueling up session, because food is fuel, but too much fuel can be a bad thing. You don't want to overfill that tank. So a little bit of recovery and then we get back on the water. So let's get into the crew room. Oh you! And we have finished this session, as you saw, and my hands have had a bit of damage here. So that's kind of what happens when you have a little bit of a cut in your hand and then it dries out and then you roll with it. So it doesn't really happen very often, but now I have to go make sure it's nice and clean, get some antiseptic stuff, get some wipes, make sure it's all healing up rather than having that happen too often. But let's get into the crew room. And we've made it into the crew room. We've got balls of tinfoil once more for breakfast to fuel up before we get on the water for some high intensity rowing. But we're going to just chill out, have a relaxed one, and we'll see you on the water. Oh, yeah. And we've made it onto the water in the learn to row pair. We're just going to jump straight into it in the piece. So let's get to it. And tap. And we have finished that session for the day. A lovely stretch down the track, see how we can compare to the other guys. Different combination, a little bit of an experiment, but I think it is a little bit better than when we're the other way around, so a bit more consistent and able to hold on and keep pushing, but it is drastically different being in the bow seat versus the stroke seat. Have to be a bit more silky and then be in time with the stroke man, letting the stroke man try and be as efficient as they can and then following them. But Robson's going to get the shoes and then we're going to put the boat away, get some food, because remember, food is fuel, and then head back to the club nice and safe. So we'll see you back at the club. And we have made it back to the club for another day, as I adjust the camera, and a bit sunny. And we have the results from the pairs, or the race stuff, the time trial today. We did reasonably well. It's all about sort of gauging. It's quite difficult because everybody didn't go flat out, so you can't say, okay, we were X seconds off of this crew and they went this fast, therefore that's where we are. That's not really how it works, because like I said, everyone isn't going flat out. So we were told to sort of not go flat out but make it burn, which it did, and we were happy with how we went. It was one of the most consistent rows Robson and I have had in the Learn to Row pair, so that's pretty exciting. And it's good that it happened after we switched round, because if it got worse when we switched round, then it's all kind of just gets worse and worse. But we had a good row today, which is good and bodes well for stepping on towards trials, because like I have been saying for the last couple of weeks, it's all about making each session count and getting better and better and better, and having your best sort of session, your best piece during trials. So the trials themselves will be a 1900 meter time trial on the first day. I think that's the Friday or maybe even the Saturday, and then that's in the morning, and that sort of seeds the semi-final in the afternoon, and then the semi-final puts people in the A or B finals on the Sunday. So there's 2 races on the first day, I think that's a Saturday, and then 1 race on the Sunday where everyone definitely will be going flat out, and that is when you can say, okay, we were this many seconds off of this boat and that's how fast we are, rather than today when it's a bit different. But today was a time trial so that we can sort of test our time trial abilities, because we'll be doing a time trial on the day of racing on trials. And as we can see over here, everything at the club is getting ready for Henley Royal Regatta. It's already started in the beginning of April to get ready for the regatta itself. So the booms have started to go in, all the stuff for all the tents and everything have started to arrive, and then over time that will get put up. The tents will go up, the semi-permanent, non-permanent buildings will be put up, and one day I want to get a time lapse starting now and finishing in August when everything is taken down. But I need to figure out the logistics of that, perhaps put in a sort of laptop and a camera that is constantly up at the club, but that is another sort of project for another time. I think I'm a bit late for this year. But that will be it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. So that is probably one of the most important prep pieces. The longest we'll probably do until trials itself. Pretty much 2k, not quite flat out, just a few percent off of flat out, so that we can step on. And then throughout the week we're going to have more prep coming up, so stay tuned for that. But as always, Yam Squad, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Share it if you think it is worth sharing, and have a good one.